In today's video, it's everything that you need to know about chicken keeping. We're going to talk about the breeds that will get you the most eggs, the issues that will rob you of eggs, how to avoid diseases, and how to make your eggs so much cheaper than what you can get in the shop. Gone are the days that we had to go down the allotment every single day to sort out our chickens. Now we've got automatic systems in that will save you time and money. What breed to start with? I really recommend this breed here. She's a hybrid, she's very small bodied, very light, and she's very friendly and produces a ton of eggs. And that's because she doesn't waste any time putting a load of meat on her. Just nothing of her. My hybrid chickens will produce anywhere between 290 and 300 eggs a year, which is quite a lot. Hybrids have high egg production, they're super hardy, and they're an really good beginner chicken. A little bit on the pricey side, they were £20 per chicken. I have 5 of them, whereas my other chickens were rescues. I paid £4 a chicken for them. But there is some downside about rescues. Yes, it's nice to rescue chickens, but you do get chickens that aren't in the best condition. And that's because they've been abused or not well looked after or been in the battery system, and you do get chickens that are a little bit more sickly and prone to diseases. It's really important to raise chickens really well. But if you are interested in rescuing chickens, you can find them on Facebook groups, ex-battery ones particularly. I got 8 chickens. I only have 3 left. An average of a rescue chicken will last 2 to 4 years, and they have really fragile health due to the nature of battery farming. So just bear that in mind, that you might have some losses, particularly difficult for children. Whereas one of the chickens that I've bought myself will have a healthy life of 5 to 10 years, which is a massive difference. Which is the breed that you think is the best for you? So my coop and my run are made from repurposed materials. There were things that we did buy, and I'll go through that later. You don't actually have to spend a fortune on building a chicken coop. My coop, I spent £5 building, maybe less. I used pretty much all scraps from my allotment that was already here. All of the metal that you can see was already here. The actual chicken coop itself was made out of pallets. So we got pallets and we just bolted them together. It's standing on top of pallets as well. This metal is the metal that we got that's a protective cover off of our roof. Their door is permanently open and their roost is above that, so there's no draft on them. With your nesting boxes, they just want something that's dark and enclosed. It doesn't matter what you use. You can use an old box, you can even make it out of pallets, or like me, use some old buckets. That's absolutely fine. Tilt them backwards a little bit so the eggs don't roll out. The siding that's fallen off is literally pieces of wood that we found here at the allotment. And this is just to stop some of the drafts coming into there. So it needs to be airy and airflow, but not drafty. The run itself is built with a skirt all the way around the outside. That's super important because you don't want anything digging in. So buy a coop like that new, it'd be set me about between 150 and 300 pound. So using old pallets was a no-brainer for us. One thing that's worth buying is welded mesh. It's really important that you use welded mesh and not chicken wire. That's because welded mesh, nothing can chew through it, but chicken wire, foxes can and will chew through chicken wire. Is it a DIY coop or is it a shop bought one? Would you want to save the money or splurge and get exactly what you want? How do you get more eggs for your buck? And this is something that people always say, if you have chickens, you don't get eggs cheaper than in the store, and this is how you can get them cheaper. So you can actually produce more eggs every year if you put in artificial lighting. So you need to be running the lights for about 14 to 16 hours in the winter if you want to have winter production. If you put in artificial lighting, you can actually increase their egg production by 20 to even 50%. This would give you an extra 50 to 100 eggs every year. So this will have a dramatic effect on their overall lifespan. They will not be living as long or laying as long. For us personally, we're absolutely happy for them to have a little bit of a rest. We all need a rest now and again. Then what I personally would suggest is get more chickens and glass or freeze for the winter months. If you already have chickens, I'm curious to know which ones have produced the most eggs for you. But the best way to ensure that your chickens lay the best is just to make sure that your chickens are as healthy as chickenly possible. If your chickens have worms or mites or any diseases, you would have a massive drop in egg production. Mites will reduce egg production by 20 to 50%, so quite significant. Wood ash absolutely eradicates mites. Chickens, because they like to have a dust bath, a little bit too acidic for the mites to live, and it kills the mites. So I don't have any mites anymore, and all I have to do is top up my wood ash pile. Now, wood ash you can get for free. You can either use it from your burn pile or ask someone who has a wood fire. To be honest, if you start begging for people's rubbish, you get it in abundance. But worms will do the same, but you'll get dramatic weight loss of about 10 to 20% of the bird's actual weight. In terms of worms, I do feed my chickens both garlic and pumpkin to reduce the amount of the likelihood of worms. But we do go for a natural dewormer also, because that doesn't completely cure them of worms. And they get wormed about once a month. So making sure that your chickens are super happy and super healthy is the best way to get the most eggs for your buck. What pests are putting you off getting chickens? Let me know down below. How we make our chicken operation really effective, easily with a full-time job, is having our automatic feeders. This is our automatic feeder. Chicken will come along and it will stand on here and it opens up. This feeder here holds 20 litres of food. It is completely mouse and rat proof. A chicken will eat about 120 grams of feed a day each, which means that a bag of feed will last my chickens roughly about 3 weeks. A bag of feed at the moment is £12.50. Now that goes up, it's pretty much going up all the time, but it means that roughly speaking, we're actually, at the moment, we are producing eggs cheaper than we can buy in the shops, which is epic. We've got the automatic feeder behind me, and we've also got the automatic waterer. This automatic waterer holds 30 litres of water. On a very hot day, chickens will drink a litre of water. Whereas on a day like this, which is a little bit chilly, they will have a half litre. Automatic waterers are an absolute godsend. This is a 30 litre one. For the amount of birds that I have, this will last about 7 days, but it's important for them to have access to clean water every minute of every day that they fancy. It's important for chickens that they can't perch on the chicken waterer, because the chicken water will get covered in poo and the water will get poo in it. So it needs to be wider than the bit that they drink out of. Now you can make this out of a bucket, that's absolutely fine, and put little nipple waterers at the bottom if you want to. Don't be bossy, it's a big boss chicken. If you put just a tad of apple cider vinegar in here, it will keep the algae down and it'll help them with worming. So I always put about a capful or so every time I fill it up. My feeder and my waterer were £66 all in. Do you think that it was worth the investment, or would you be feeding and watering every day? Let me know down below. Veggie scraps can be quite a hot topic when it comes to chicken keeping. Chickens can and will eat veggie scraps, but you want to keep them below 10% of their diet. If you have them higher than 10%, you will not get as many eggs, which is why we're keeping them. Also, I've seen lots of people go absolutely above and beyond with treats for chicken. If you give them too many treats, their eggs will drop for between 20 and 50%. Additionally speaking, worms and other diseases will skyrocket. Because of their lack of nutrition, it will actually push them into being malnourished in certain types of vitamins and minerals, which you don't want. You don't want to love your chickens to death. And I've seen it happen with backyard chicken keepers out of good intentions. Now, saying that, eggshells are really good to feed back to your chickens. We don't have any problems with any of our chickens pecking our eggs, but we always feed them back eggshells, and we just crush them up and chuck them in with their scraps. This will produce a lot of calcium for them, which obviously they need for eggshells. So feeding their own eggshells back to them will actually improve their eggshells between 2 and 5%. We don't give it any grit or anything. We have perfect eggshells every single time. Veggie scraps can be a great way to save money on feed, but just make sure that you're not feeding them wrong things. Give them too many onions or too much citrus and you get weird flavoured eggs. So let me know, would you give your chickens veggie scraps, or you're going to be a purist and say no treats for you, just feed? Hatching eggs is a lot cheaper than buying them. Like I was saying, that you could actually get one chicken for 20 to 25 quid, which is quite a lot of money. Whereas if you do hatch them yourself, you do end up getting cockerels, right? Every hen you get, you pretty much get a cockerel. It's a 50-50 chance. If you are going to hatch them out, you do need a strategy plan, what you're going to do with all of these cockerels, right? Hatching out eggs, you don't actually have to buy the most expensive incubator that you can. I actually bought this off a Facebook marketplace. This is a really good brand. It's called Brighton Sea. I think I spent about £40 for this and this together on Facebook marketplace. So it is possible to get a really good quality one second hand for virtually nothing, especially after Easter, because lots of schools use them to hatch a couple of eggs and then they don't want them anymore. I've hatched bunches of eggs in here and it's worked beautifully. This one has 100% rate of success when it comes to hatching. There are cheaper options and I'm going to let you know how to get an absolutely cracking, no pun intended, hatching rate out of even a really cheap one like this one here. I bought this off of Amazon and I'll put up a little thing of where I got it from. This one, I was so shocked. It had really good reviews, etc. It did say the internal temperature wasn't so great. So we went ahead and bought a thermostat for inside here and we just stuck it onto the plastic. This was a fraction of the price of this, which is like a couple of £100, but this, it got a easily 80% success rate. Between 60 and 70% is considered really good. With both of these, the way that you can increase the hatching rate dramatically is taking the chicks out as soon as they've hatched. So you can get fertiled eggs from eBay. Do want to store them pointy end down. There's actually a bubble on top of the egg, which is like a little membrane of air. You want that to be pointed up. That will give you a much higher success rate when hatching out chicks. If you want me to do a deep dive into how to hatch chickens, let me know down below. If you enjoyed learning about how to grow a year's worth of eggs, I've picked this one here for you, and it's planting a year's worth of crops. And I'll see you there.